Acceptance is often misunderstood. Many people believe that to accept something means to approve of it, to agree with it, or to feel good about it. But true acceptance is much deeper and far more powerful. It means acknowledging reality as it is without trying to deny it, fight it, or wish it away. It's the first and most important step in staying strong no matter what life throws your way. When we face challenges, our first instinct is often resistance. We ask, "Why is this happening to me?" or "This isn't fair." These thoughts are natural, but they also trap us. They keep us stuck in a cycle of frustration and suffering. By resisting the truth of our situation, we delay healing and block our own strength from rising. Acceptance, on the other hand, breaks that cycle. It doesn't mean we like what's happening. It doesn't mean we stop trying to change it. It simply means we stop wasting energy denying the facts and start using our energy to respond wisely. Consider someone who has just lost a job. The shock, the disappointment, and the fear are real. But staying stuck in denial, pretending everything is fine, blaming others endlessly, or living in regret only deepens the pain. Acceptance begins when that person says, "This happened. I didn't want it to happen, but it did. Now, what can I do from here?" That moment, though simple, is incredibly powerful. It's the moment where true strength starts to emerge. Acceptance also brings peace, not because life becomes easier, but because we stop fighting against things we cannot control. It's like trying to swim against a strong current, exhausting and often futile. But when you accept the direction of the current, you can start navigating it more wisely. You learn to work with life instead of against it. That shift brings clarity, and with clarity comes courage. There's also a quiet humility in acceptance. It takes strength to say, "This is my reality right now." It doesn't make you weak. In fact, it shows emotional maturity and deep self-awareness. It allows you to stop pretending, stop running, and start dealing with things as they are. That honesty with yourself is a foundation for true inner strength. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up either. Far from it. It's not surrendering to defeat, but rather choosing to move forward with your eyes open. When you accept something painful, a breakup, a loss, a failure, you allow yourself to grieve and heal. You give yourself permission to feel without judgment, and eventually that space makes room for new possibilities. Only when we accept the ending of one chapter can we begin to write the next. We often think that strength looks like power and control, but more often, real strength looks like grace, stillness, and the ability to say, "I see the storm, I feel the rain, but I will stand through it anyway." That's what acceptance gives us, the quiet power to keep standing, to keep breathing, and to keep moving forward, even when everything feels uncertain. In the end, acceptance is not weakness. It is not passive. It is a courageous act of facing reality with open eyes and an open heart. It is the foundation upon which resilience is built, and without it, we cannot truly stay strong. When we accept what is, we begin to discover the strength we never knew we had. Resilience is the ability to recover, adapt, and grow stronger in the face of adversity. It's not about avoiding hardship, but about how we respond to it. Everyone experiences setbacks, losses, and painful moments in life, but it is resilience that determines whether we stay down or rise again. It's the quiet, steady force that keeps us moving forward, even when everything around us seems to be falling apart. At its core, resilience is about bounce, back, but it's more than just returning to where we were before something bad happened. It's about learning, transforming, and coming back better, wiser, and more capable. A resilient person doesn't just survive difficulty. They are shaped and strengthened by it. They use pain as fuel, disappointment as a teacher, and failure as a stepping stone. What makes resilience so powerful is that it's not a trait you're born with. It's something you can build. It begins with mindset. When you believe that challenges are part of growth rather than the end of the road, you approach life differently. You stop seeing difficulties as personal attacks and start seeing them as opportunities to develop your strength. That shift in perspective is what keeps people going when everything feels uncertain or overwhelming. Think about a time when you faced something tough. Maybe it was the loss of a loved one, a dream that didn't come true, or a goal that seemed impossible. You probably felt like giving up, but somewhere deep inside you found the strength to keep going. That was resilience at work. It may have come quietly, without any fanfare, but it carried you through, and even if you didn't realize it at the time, it made you stronger than you were before. Resilience doesn't mean you're never sad, scared, or angry. It means you allow yourself to feel those things without being consumed by them. It means you can cry and still choose to keep trying. It means you can fall and still get back up. Emotional honesty is part of resilience. It's not about pretending to be okay all the time. It's about facing the truth and moving forward anyway. Support from others also plays a big role in resilience. Having someone to lean on, talk to, or simply sit with you in your pain can make all the difference. But resilience is also deeply personal. It's built in the moments when no one is watching, when you choose to show up for yourself, when you decide to try one more time even though everything in you wants to quit. Over time, resilience becomes a habit. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. You begin to trust yourself more. You learn that you can survive hard things. You start to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as part of the journey. And with each trial, you build a kind of inner armor, not to protect you from life, but to help you walk through it with confidence and courage. In a world full of uncertainty, resilience is one of the most valuable strengths you can have. It doesn't promise that life will be easy, but it does promise that you will be able to face whatever comes your way. You might bend, but you won't break. You might struggle, but you won't stay down. Resilience is the strength that grows in the dark and shines in the light, and once you know you have it, you'll carry it with you wherever you go. Purpose is the invisible force that gives life meaning. It's the reason behind our actions, the motivation that keeps us moving forward, even when times get tough. Without purpose, we may go through the motions of life, but we often feel lost, unfulfilled, or disconnected. When we find our purpose, everything begins to change. Challenges don't disappear, but they begin to feel worthwhile. Pain doesn't vanish, but it becomes bearable. Purpose doesn't just light the way, it gives us the strength to keep walking, even through the darkest paths. Every person has a unique purpose, something that fuels their soul and gives their life direction. For some, it might be family. For others, it could be a dream, a calling, a career, or a desire to help others. It doesn't need to be something grand or widely recognized. It only needs to be meaningful to you. What matters is that it connects you to something greater than yourself, something that pushes you to rise above your fears, doubts, and limitations. When life throws obstacles at us, purpose becomes our anchor. It holds us steady when everything around us feels unstable. It reminds us why we started and why we shouldn't give up. Think of someone climbing a mountain. If they're only climbing for fun, they might turn back when the path gets too steep or the weather turns cold. But if they're climbing because someone is waiting at the top, because they believe in the mission, or because reaching the summit, it means something deeply personal to them, then they'll keep climbing no matter how hard it gets. That's the power of purpose. Purpose also brings clarity. In a world full of noise, distractions, and opinions, it's easy to lose focus. But when you know your purpose, decisions become simpler. You start to prioritize what matters. You stop chasing every opportunity and begin choosing the ones that align with your values and vision. You waste less time on things that don't serve your growth and invest more energy into what truly matters. One of the most beautiful things about purpose is that it often grows from pain. Some of the most inspiring people in the world found their calling through struggle. They took their suffering and turned it into service. They found a way to transform their wounds into wisdom. That kind of purpose is powerful. It not only helps you survive, it helps you heal and helps others along the way. When you use your experiences, both good and bad, to make a difference, life becomes more meaningful. Finding your purpose is not always a straight path. It takes time, reflection, and sometimes a bit of trial and error. You may have to explore different paths, ask yourself deep questions, and sit with discomfort. But the search itself is valuable. It teaches you more about who you are and what matters to you. And once you find even a glimpse of that purpose, hold on to it, nurture it, let it guide you. Living with purpose doesn't mean every day will be easy or that you'll always feel motivated. But it means that you'll have something to fall back on when life tests you. You'll have a reason to get up, to try again, to keep believing in something bigger than the moment you're in. Purpose gives life its richness. It turns routine into intention, struggle into strength, and survival into growth. It's not just about what you do, it's about why you do it. And once you live with purpose, you don't just exist, you thrive. For, oh, you said, support system expended in 600 words without heading ChatGPT said, a support system is one of the most vital elements in staying strong through life's challenges. While personal strength is important, no one is meant to face everything alone. We are human, and humans are wired for connection. Whether it's family, friends, mentors, or even a community of strangers who understand us, the presence of others can make a world of difference in how we experience and overcome adversity. Having people you can turn to during hard times brings not only emotional comfort, but also practical help. Just knowing that someone cares, listens without judgment, or is willing to stand beside you can ease the burden of even the heaviest days. When life feels overwhelming and our own inner strength begins to falter, a support system acts as a reminder that we are not alone and that we are valued. Support systems come in different shapes and forms. Some people have close, knit families who provide love and encouragement. Others find their support in friendships, support groups, teachers, colleagues, or faith communities. What matters is not how many people are in your circle, but how genuine and reliable they are. A single person who truly listens and understands can be more powerful than a crowd of acquaintances. One of the most important aspects of a support system is emotional safety. It's the ability to be yourself, to express vulnerability, and to share your truth without fear of being judged or dismissed. This kind of safe space allows you to release emotional pressure and regain strength. Sometimes all it takes to start healing is to hear the words, "I'm here for you," or "You're not alone." These simple affirmations can restore hope and renew courage. Support is not just about receiving, it's also about giving. Being there for someone else, offering comfort, or simply showing up in their time of need creates a bond of trust and mutual respect. Often, supporting others helps us become stronger ourselves. It reminds us of our own resilience and deepens our sense of purpose. Relationships built on mutual care and understanding become a powerful source of strength for everyone involved. However, to fully benefit from a support system, we must be willing to reach out. This can be difficult, especially if we've been taught to see vulnerability as weakness or if we fear being a burden to others. But asking for help takes courage, not weakness. It shows strength to acknowledge that we need others sometimes, just as they will need us. Leaning on someone else is not falling, It's being wise enough to seek balance when we are off-center. There may also be times when our support system shifts or feels distant. People change, circumstances evolve, and some connections fade. But that doesn't mean support is unavailable. Sometimes we have to seek out new connections, find new communities, or even professional support like counselors or coaches who can provide guidance and care. There is no shame in needing help. It is part of being human. In the long run, a strong support system can become a lifeline. It helps us process emotions, make better decisions, and bounce back faster from setbacks. It reminds us of our worth when we forget it ourselves. It surrounds us with love when we are tempted to feel unloved or invisible. And most importantly, it keeps us grounded in the truth that we were never meant to do this life alone. Whether in moments of crisis or in everyday life, support systems build the bridge between struggle and strength. They carry us when we can't walk alone, and they stand by us until we can stand again on our own. In the journey of staying strong, they are the hands that hold us up and the hearts that help us heal. Self-belief is the foundation of inner strength. It is the quiet but powerful voice inside you that says, "I can do this," even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you'll never doubt or fear. It means you trust yourself enough to keep going in spite of those doubts. It's about knowing your worth, owning your journey, and refusing to let failures or opinions define who you are. Life constantly throws challenges our way: setbacks, rejection, loss, and criticism. In those moments, it's easy to feel small or powerless, but when you have self-belief, you don't crumble. You bend, maybe, but you don't break. You understand that you are capable of facing hard things, even if it hurts, even if it takes time. That belief gives you the strength to push forward when it would be easier to quit. Self-belief isn't arrogance or overconfidence. It's not pretending to be perfect or always right. In fact, it's rooted in humility and self-awareness. It comes from knowing that you're not flawless, but that you're still enough. You've made mistakes, you've faced failure, but you've learned and grown. True self-belief means embracing both your strengths and your imperfections. It's the balance between confidence and vulnerability. Building self-belief takes time. It's not something you're simply born with, it's something you cultivate through experience. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, every time you overcome a fear, every time you get up after a fall, you reinforce that belief in yourself. It's like a muscle that gets stronger with use. The more you challenge yourself, the more proof you give yourself that you can survive and thrive. One of the most dangerous things that can damage self-belief is comparison. When you constantly measure yourself against others, it's easy to feel inadequate. But your journey is not theirs. Your timing, your path, your dreams, they are yours alone. Self-belief means trusting that your process is valid, even if it doesn't look like anyone else's. It's having the courage to write your own story, even when the world tells you to follow someone else's script. The way you talk to yourself also matters. Your inner dialogue shapes your confidence. If you constantly criticize yourself, doubt yourself, or expect failure, your actions will reflect that. But if you speak kindly to yourself, encourage your own progress, and remind yourself of how far you've come, your confidence will grow. It's not about ignoring your flaws, but about choosing to lift yourself up instead of tearing yourself down. Self-belief also means trusting your instincts and decisions. There will be moments in life when no one else sees your vision or understands your choices. And in those moments, it's your belief in yourself that will carry you. Sometimes you have to be your own cheerleader, your own supporter, your own motivator. You have to believe in your dreams when they're still just seeds in the ground. Even when you face failure, self-belief turns it into a lesson instead of a defeat. You stop seeing mistakes as evidence that you're not good enough and start seeing them as part of the process. You realize that every success is built on moments of trying, failing, adjusting, and trying again. That resilience, rooted in belief, becomes your greatest ally. In the end, self-belief is what allows you to keep going, to keep growing, and to keep fighting for the life you deserve. It empowers you to take risks, to follow your heart, and to stay strong no matter what. Because when you believe in yourself truly and deeply, nothing can break you for long. You may fall, but you will rise, and each time you'll rise stronger. Struggle is an unavoidable part of life. It comes in many forms: loss, failure, heartbreak, rejection, disappointment, and uncertainty. While it's natural to wish for a smooth and easy path, the truth is that struggle often becomes the soil in which our greatest personal growth takes root. It tests us, shapes us, and teaches us in ways that comfort never can. Growth through struggle is not only possible, it's often where we discover our real strength. When everything is going well, it's easy to stay in the same place, doing what's familiar and avoiding risk. But struggle disrupts that comfort. It forces us to confront parts of ourselves we might otherwise ignore. It shows us what we're made of. In moments of difficulty, we find out what matters most, what we're capable of, and what needs to change. That kind of self-awareness can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for transformation. Struggles teach resilience. Each time we survive something hard, we prove to ourselves that we can. That experience builds a kind of emotional muscle that makes us better prepared for future challenges. It also makes us more compassionate toward others who are going through tough times. We stop taking things for granted. We begin to appreciate strength, not just as a concept, but as something we've earned. Struggle also reveals our hidden potential. Often, we don't know how strong we are until we have no choice but to be strong. We might discover talents, ideas, or depths of courage we never thought we had. People who have faced adversity and come through it are often more focused, more determined, and more connected to their purpose. They've learned to survive storms, and in doing so, they become more grounded and more confident. One of the most powerful things about growing through struggle is that it shifts our mindset. We stop seeing failure as something to be feared and start seeing it as part of the journey. We begin to understand that setbacks aren't permanent, they're setups for comebacks. Pain doesn't have to define us, it can refine us. The scars we carry can become symbols of the battles we've fought and the wisdom we've gained. Of course, growth through struggle doesn't happen automatically. We have to be willing to engage with our pain rather than run from it. We have to ask ourselves, what is this moment trying to teach me? It's not easy. Some struggles are deep and painful, and healing takes time. But when we face our pain honestly, we give ourselves the chance to come out stronger on the other side. Support from others also plays a vital role in this process. We don't grow through struggle in isolation. When we allow others to walk with us, whether through listening, encouraging, or simply being present, we gain strength from connection, and later we may be the ones to offer support to someone else, using our experience to help guide them through their own storm. In the end, growth through struggle isn't about glorifying suffering. It's about recognizing that even in our lowest moments, there is value. There is something in us that can rise, rebuild, and renew. Struggles may knock us down, but they also offer the opportunity to rise in ways we never imagined. Every challenge, every hardship, and every painful season can serve as a stepping stone to a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of ourselves. Growth through struggle teaches us that we are not defined by what happens to us, but by how we respond. And with every response, we become more powerful, more aware, and more unbreakable.